Okay. All right. We are live. What's up? What's up, everybody? This is your host, Kid Smooth, aka the Best Bot, and we are back with episode 30 of Planet Xbox. We almost got a full cast here tonight. Gaming Addict should be joining us soon, but right now, I'd like for those who are here now, introduce yourself. We can start with Dope Gaming.
What's going on, everybody? This is a Dope Game with Frog. Frog's ready. I am ready to go. I'm excited about tonight's podcast. Let's get it.
All right, and then Merc.
What's up, Merc305? I'm Merc305 everywhere, YouTube, Twitter, Xbox. Looking forward to talking some games.
And we got a special guest in the house. Appreciate you. I know I've asked you a couple weeks ago, so I definitely appreciate your presence today. Please let them know who you are.
Hey everyone, this is me, Lady Infamous 415, Grown Women Gaming. I just want to thank Kid for inviting me to the podcast, and I can't wait to talk about these games.
Awesome. And like I said, Gaming Addict should be joining us soon. I think Psycho's out, and Jez may or may not be joining us today. Just a quick PSA, guys. If you've been tweeting me and I haven't been responding, or you haven't seen me tweet or share anything, it's because my Twitter account is still suspended. I got another 3 or so more days where I can't tweet, I can't retweet, and I can't share anything to Twitter. So if you can, on my behalf, can you either share this podcast or tweet it, whatever, you know what I mean? Or I appreciate your patience and whatnot. But hopefully, this spam reporting stops. I think it's an attempt to get to lose my Twitter account. I'm already unverified now, and it's just been really a struggle. So that's what's been really going on with me there, but I should be back by this weekend and have a lot to say. But Lady Infamous, just if you can, give me a little quick rundown of like your gaming background, how long you've been gaming, what you currently play, what's your preferred platform, and
okay.
Yeah.
Oh, the little breakdown. Okay, I've been gaming since the Game Boy. We were just talking about the ugly Game Boy with the purple buttons, and I started off with Nintendo, and then it took me a little break with life and stuff. When I got back to gaming, I have been with the Xbox, and then slowly when I got my funds up, I got me a PlayStation 4. My preference is Xbox. I like first-person shooters and also RPGs. Those Call of Duty Streets. I got all the Call of Duties. And I have a group named Grown Women Gaming. We do podcasts and Grown Women's Gaming Night every Friday. I do GRGs on Friday as well. Mm-hmm. And you'll see me in the Twitter land just tweeting stuff about gaming and life in general.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So definitely happy to have you. I've been wanting to ask you for a while, and I don't know why I couldn't find your Twitter. I think one day I seen like you come up on my Twitter feed. I was like, oh, bingo, there she go.
Yeah.
But definitely appreciate it. So a couple things to talk about. I apologize for not giving you guys a huge breakdown of the rundown. Actually, we're not actually even supposed to have a podcast today. We were going to do a live CFB stream, which we could still do if anybody's down sometime tonight. But but there was some news that dropped this week, and a couple things I think that we could discuss, we could talk about, and definitely want to get some of your thoughts. So first things first, Sea of Thieves beta, the closed beta dropped today. Did everybody in the podcast so far get to try it out?
Oh yeah.
You talking about the Sea of Thieves? No, I haven't yet. I haven't.
Yeah. So Merc, let me know what's your thoughts on it so far. Did you play solo, or did you run in a group, or like what did you do?
All right, so what I ended up doing is I ended up joining into with a bunch of randoms, which in my first initial trip out on the boat, let's call it, nobody really knew what they were doing. So the truth is I was kind of a little lost on what I was supposed to be doing. But the next run I went the second time, I actually ended up figuring out, okay, we're supposed to do a quest and then you go to the map. And then once I figured that out, to not really get into grave detail on how to play the game, man, I really actually started enjoying it, to be honest with you. In fact, I'm really curious on how going forward, especially as I start playing it more and more and more, what my opinion is going to be on it. You know, at that point, I can't really generate an opinion about the game right now, but I have a feeling probably after maybe I put in maybe 5, 10, 15 more hours, I'll be able to give like a better dissertation on what I think about the game. But so far, just on that last trip out, man, I was finding myself really enjoying it, trying to figure out the riddle and find the loot and take the loot box back to the boat. And man, it ends up being a pretty good time, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Okay. Frog. So far, your experience so far.
My experience, you know, of course, I give pros and cons. Graphically, that game is really impressive. The water physics in that game is incredible. Like, it's probably some of the best water I've ever seen in a video game.
It is.
And I'm just like, I'm not gonna lie, like, wow. The art style is really, it's rare. You know, it's rare. It kind of, you know, it has I would say a cleaner art style. Like, it has that Fortnite-ish art style. Like, it's not cell shaded, but it's that kind of I want to say, I guess you could say kind of, it has a different kind of charm to it. You know, the men have square jaws. I had a character. Yeah, real goofy. I had one of the characters is a woman. She's broad shoulders, big. Other one is small. So, I mean, they give you options. And my positive with it is, you know, from what I played, I enjoyed it. I was the same way. I didn't know what was going on at first, but I learned really quick because I played with some guys that were in the alpha. And they were like, do this, do that. And then, like, once we were on a ship, because I played it with one person, I played it by myself, and I played with 4 people. And I was like, I can see this game being addictive. Now, here's my worries. My worries with it is, and these are just, I don't know if they're going to be true or not. I'm just worried. Like, I could see this game being a game full of microtransactions, which kind of worries me in a sense, because I'm like, all the stuff you do in the game, how you do the quest and everything, I can see everything is cosmetic, and I'm hoping it stays like that, because everything I've done so far, it seems cosmetic the way you get money. So I'm just hoping this game isn't a microtransaction game, because I could see them putting microtransactions in this game. But I kind of, when I play this game, I kind of got a feel of kind of like a how can I say it? I don't say it's just what you make it, but the world is huge. It's basically, in a sense, it is what you make it, you know, because I had a lot of good time with it, playing the instruments on the ship, getting drunk. Yeah. It was just, overall, my experience was more positive than negative. I was just concerned about, man, are microtransactions going to come in this game? That was my first thing, because it kind of felt like that game that they would try to push that, and I'm hoping they don't. If they don't do it, I'll be happy.
Like, hold on. If you were going into Sea of Thieves after all what we saw, all of what we heard, and thinking that it won't have microtransactions, that would be like others like shock. When I first thought of Sea of Thieves as, all right, cool, this is going to be one of those games where it's more of I expect loot box, some sort of a loot system. I expect some sort of microtransactions, because it's an online shared world adventure game where there's no real stories, a bunch of quests, everything, and they already confirmed like everything is as cosmetic and like as far as like the looks of things, but that's all stuff that you earn, like stuff that you earn from doing like missions and stuff like that. I don't think. I mean, what would you?
I'd rather grind.
Yeah, that's how I am. I just rather grind. I don't want. I don't want to like
be a grind. But the thing is, what are? I don't understand. I don't see what they could make you really buy that would do anything where, like, I don't see anything in Sea of Thieves that they can do to make me, hey, I'm gonna want to buy that.
Yeah,
same outside of cosmetic, gold, or you know, purple
because
paint what or something like that.
If you watch their stream, if you watch their stream back in December when they had the big Sea of Thieves blowout, they told you everything's gonna work as they work. They said you know, like the sniper and a pistol that you start on.
Right.
Everybody has that. There's not going to be a sniper that works better or stronger than any other one. There's no pistol that's going to work better or any stronger than the other one. Everything's the same. That same pistol that you have at the base of the game is going to kill you like any other pistol. There's no upgrading it. There's no legendary version of that pistol. Pistol. The only thing that's really of value is the quest that you get. Right. And the stuff that you when doing those quests, what you earn from doing those quests aren't legendary weapons or anything like that. It's more outfits, the color of your the design of your the other word for the map? What the shit?
You talking about the terrain design or
no. It's called something and it's not syncing. Let me look at the freaking chat, see if somebody says it. But it's a lot of like just stuff that's like really is the way you look. Like, so for example, my fear when it comes to like games like, let's say Destiny is like, damn, being able to get a weapon that can kill somebody like fast or just super powerful or OP. That's not a concern. And they clarified that in the not December, I think it was November. It's like the end of November or early December, they clarified that. And I was like, boom, I can do this now. Because I don't have to worry about like, damn, what kind of gun that person has, or damn, why am I not killing this person if everybody's using basic weapons and there's no upgrade, there's no weapon upgrades.
Well, in Destiny, you had to grind for your weapons, but you know, in Destiny 2, it seemed more like everybody had everything that was the same. I think, whereas Destiny 1, it was very rare to get some of those weapons. You know, you really had to do some missions and do some things to get those weapons. Destiny 2, everybody's the same thing.
Sea of Thieves is the missions that you get to do, because some people will have access to certain quests depending on how much like they played or how much they, let's say they do a bunch of missions for one of the retailers, right? One of the guys that you buy shit from, right?
Right.
And you like just keep doing deeds and favors and ranking up along with them, and they're giving you all this like stuff. The way you look and the type of missions that you are able to provide. Let's say we all jump in the boat, because that's exactly what happened to me today. I jumped in the boat with a bunch of strangers, and I jumped in the game chat, right? And it started out as two of us, and we were looking for like a quest to do because we just got robbed of our ship. Well, they sunk it. And so we had to start over. We went to look for a quest, and then somebody else joined our game. He was like, "Hey, I got two." He's like, "I got two quests that we can do." And he put his little map on the table, and we went to it. But there was two missions that we didn't have access to yet. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's stuff like that. Issue. Yeah, that could be an issue.
Yeah, as you do more quests, I believe that those unlock.
Yeah, they unlock. Yeah, but the thing is like when you're in a party with, if you're in a game with somebody, let's say if you're not there yet, because everybody eventually gets access to that. It's just that it's like a never-ending type of thing. You be like, all right, man, I did this mission, but maybe you didn't earn enough. Remember, you have to those gold coins. You have to buy. And not when I say buy, it's the coins you earn from the game that they give you. You have to buy the quest. You have to buy the opportunity for the quest, right? And then you have to go and get it, and then you earn a chance to earn more money from that quest that you just completed. So he's been playing the beta all day, and so that's how he was able to get us into missions that we didn't unlock yet, because we didn't have the money to unlock those missions yet.
Well, they should at least let like an indication in the game to let you know that if you're high enough to join this particular quest. Because like I said, I played the technical alpha. I haven't played the beta that's out, but I've been an Xbox Sea of Thieves insider, so I've been playing the game for a couple of times. The thing with me is, I like story-based heavy games. I can't see myself playing. Now, mind you, it does look good, and it's good to play with friends, and it's online multiplayer. I'm not really tripping about the microtransactions. I can tune that out. I can't be just looking for treasures and having pirate fights like 8 hours straight or 7 hours straight, where, you know, a good game, you'll sit that long playing. I don't see myself playing it for this long. I just hope when I play this weekend, because I'm gonna spend a good few hours on that game. I need to know if they gonna have a story mode and how deep is it go? That's what's gonna intrigue me, because I'll like look at this treasure and not find it for about 2 hours, and I'll be like, fuck it, I'm not looking for this treasure. And I just hope, I mean, I just hope it gets better, and I don't want to be blinded by how good it looks. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna have any sort of like story based, anything story related, because it's
then it's looking like less. If it's not gonna have a story a story mode, then it's gonna look like less and less that I'm gonna buy this game.
No, it's a shared world game. It's more in the idea of like the what you do after you beat the Destiny story, what you do after you get past the main thing of the division.
Well, you know what? I haven't played Destiny 2 in a long time. I'm not even story mode. It was good for like that first month, but you know how that's Bungie and Activision.
Yeah. See, I feel the same way about Destiny 2. Like, I beat the story. I was like, this story is better than 1. I understood it. But after the story, I was like, man, what am I going to do now? And I'm just riding around. So
just keep your expectations no story mode for
Sea
of Thieves.
And I think
it's a shared world game. It's everybody in a
like an MMO
playing in the middle of the ocean.
I mean, it seems like a game if you just want to kick back and chill and just sit there and talk with your friends, like you can just have fun with it.
Yeah,
but
the thing I'm gonna like, I think I like about the game is that, for example, I feel like there's, you know how there's this intimidation factor for like games like Rainbow Six Siege and Destiny and the Division, like, oh damn, I'm just getting into the game late. Somebody have to carry me through the game and I gotta upgrade. That's not the thing with Sea of Thieves. You don't that's why it's not a game where you're gonna be, if you played that game and grinded for hours, it's not because you're required to, it's because you just enjoyed the game that much and you kept continuing. It's a game, for me, I look at it as a game I could pick up and do a couple quests with people and hop off, and you can pick it back up again like days later and like not lose a beat or look like you're behind. I was like, oh well, I don't look as good as you, but I'm not like a level 300 or something like that. That doesn't matter, you know. So that's
a day one buy for you.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a day one buy, because I've been in the alpha just like you. Like I was in the alpha. And I couldn't wait to do the beta, because once they got the closed beta, they started adding more stuff. Like you had the, like, I think in the later builds of the alpha, they added the sharks. In the beta, I think the sharks are overkill, because once you see one, you quickly see like 4. And it becomes a problem and you can't get out the water quick enough. But
yeah, I just kind of feel like this game, like my only concern is just like microtransactions that they're going to try to force on you, which I don't want. Yeah, I was a guy who purchased No Man's Skies day one, but I didn't have my expectation was I'm going to get to go out in the universe and search my own planet by myself and just kind of chill back, and I can have Spotify, listen to my Spotify, and just go out there. And I was content with it, even though, you know, a lot of people ragged on it, but after, you know, the updates, it came out to be a decent game. And I feel like this game is kind of right up, you know, it's kind of one of those games, like it's not a serious game. It's something you just sit back and you chill and you play with your friends when they're on, or you just get you by yourself, or you just do whatever, you know. It's not a super serious, like, how would I say it? It's like, to me, it feels like, and I'm gonna say this and it's gonna sound crazy because I know I say it feels like No Man's Sky to me feels like,
oh my god,
it should have been a free to play game, and I kind of feel like this is the same boat. Like it kind of should have been a free to play game. Like I kind of feel like
if it's a free to play game, then that means you have to buy like literally all the missions with real cash,
right? But it just, I just kind of feel like though, like
that makes no sense. You're saying you don't want microtransactions, right? But you prefer this game to be a free to play.
No, what I'm saying is
you can't have both. You got to be one or the other.
Okay, you misunderstand. What I'm saying is this: the game feels like a free to play game. That's what I'm saying. It feels like a free to play game. So if they add microtransactions in there, I'm like, what's the point? You should have just made it free to play in the first place. Like it feels like one of those games like you get it and you play it and you're like, because this was, if I'm not mistaken, what's the cost of this game retail?
60.
That's what
$60.
And that's what I'm saying.
It ain't worth 60 to me personally.
Right, and that's what I say. It don't feel like a $60 game. It feels like something that
some DLC coming up down the road, and
it's gonna be like it's gonna be like it's gonna be like Destiny. You know, like the thing is that, and that's just to say, not it's gonna be.
If it's like Destiny, man, I better not be, man.
The content's the game is gonna last a couple years as far as updates. They got to keep adding new quests, new ships, different effects to the game as far as what type of storms you get. I got caught in a fucking sea storm today that kind of fucked us up. So I'm not against a game being like updated constantly to add new content, because eventually you're going to run through all the content the game has to offer. So it's like, because we all can make the argument that most games ain't worth the $60 that they're asking, but the thing is, we're saying this based off a span of time. Like, lady, you're speaking from that just based off the alpha build you've been playing, and Frog's playing, speaking from, I don't know how many, hour or two, or how many hours you got.
I've been playing it since this morning.
So you're going based off like the closed beta. So
it says alpha. I think it's an alpha for me because I'm an Xbox insider.
It's funny they're calling it the beta, because when you boot the game on Xbox, it specifically says alpha.
Alpha,
yeah. Because if you were an alpha member, it just boots into the beta one. Like for everybody who got it as a beta, it'll probably still say alpha, but it's that same alpha build with just a major update would have made, because the install size was bigger too. That's why I didn't have to install a new beta, because I had the alpha installed. It just updated.
Well, this is what I think also about it. It's like, because you said as long as they keep updating it, it can span years. But it's the same thing, kind of like, and I use No Man's Sky as a prime example, because No Man's Sky had a lot of promises of what, and I think that's the difference between this game and No Man's Sky. Is like they didn't really promise a lot with this game, and nobody really knows exactly what this game is. Like I've played it, and I'm still like, okay, am I just a like? Because I'm like, can I customize my character, which I'm pretty sure you're going to be able to do, and like, can I, can I customize my look? Can I be me? For per se in the game, and I'm just like, I think they're gonna allow you to do some customization. Yeah,
you're gonna do that in a full game.
Right. And but there again, it's like, if what I'm doing now is kind of what's in the game, and like, because you said no story, and I'm like, I guess I can do that. I
mean, have you not played a game that didn't include a story at all? Like,
yeah, of course, I played No Man's Sky. No Man's Sky actually has a story. There is.
I can name a pretty popular game that doesn't have a story. Super Mario Odyssey.
Yeah,
that's not a real story.
PUBG doesn't have a story.
Yeah, PUBG.
I played a lot of games don't have any story.
It's popular as shit.
Right, yeah. and but it has to be. I guess this catchy about this game to me is just I do like the pirate theme. I think it's cool, and I got a lot of positives to say about it. But I guess my thought process is like, man, if I'm gonna sit here and put hours upon hours in this game, like, what's the end goal? What am I really doing? Am I just, achievement hunting? What am I, is it just for me to sit back and play with my friend? Because that's not me. That's not me.
All right. So that it's not, this type of game is probably not for you. I feel like a game like Sea of Thieves is like a streamer's dream. And I feel like a lot of people are going to blow up with this game when it comes to streaming. I think it has a lot of those features, like, like the proximity chat, which is awesome. That's why I was in game chat. I thought that was awesome. Yes. The whole figuring things out, because the game works like, and this is when, and that shout out to the dude I was playing with. What was his name? I think his name was called iDefno or something like that. But he was teaching me like the inner workings, because when the bigger the ship bigger of a crew you work with, the more things are going to be required for individual people. I was like, all right,
yeah.
And this is where it became super interesting. We needed to go. We were looking for a quest. He decided he's going to man the ship. I, however, had to go to the far end to make sure he stayed on track of the compass and make sure and keep him away from rocks, because he can't see, right? And then when the third person jumped in, we had him go downstairs to the bottom of the boat to look at the map so he can get the full scope and he can tell us how far we are. And I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, this is crazy, because it's like now it can be complicated. It can be complicated, but in a fun way. I launched myself out of a cannon for the first time. I thought that was going to be complicated, but it was pretty fun.
That was really fun,
because we were engaging in a battle, right? And I was like, I ran out of cannon bullets, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm going on a ship, but I don't want to go in the water because I'm going to get eaten by sharks.
Yes.
It's funny, and Frog kind of touched on this, right? My issue, and again, even though I was part of the alpha, I actually never downloaded it and actually played it. So today was actually the first 2 runs that I ever had in the game. So I'm giving you the I just played it for the first time perspective. What I think Microsoft is missing with launching this beta or alpha, it's like I wasn't giving any direction on exactly what am I doing, how am I supposed to do it, and I think that's where Microsoft is missing. Missing out.
Is that me?
No, because it might be you. It might be, but I don't hear you botting, and I don't
hear you botting either. I hope it's not me. I don't hear you botting.
No, I don't hear you botting either.
Yeah, you're not botting.
So basically that's a thing. I wasn't giving any direction like when I played the game. Yeah. So it's like I almost feel like I'm pretty sure there's other people that are going to download the game.
Oh yeah.
They're going to be like, "Man, what's this?" Right? And I basically learned what the objective of the game is because the guys that were on that second boat that I was on actually have played before.
Yeah.
Right. So I think like I just think Microsoft's got to do a little bit better with the communication. I think that's the biggest problem that I see. It's not that I think it's a bad game.
Right.
I don't have an opinion yet on whether it's a $60 game, but I tell you, I think my initial I would be a little bit more hyped if I was given a little direction when I first got on the boat the first time.
Yeah, and I think that's something they need to put into the open beta or
correct.
Or the full game, like have like a quick tutorial available, or even put something on YouTube to give people like some direction. But it's cool because you learn how to do things. I was like, damn, after I got bit by the shark, I was like, how do I get my health up? And I got to land and there was a barrel full of bananas. And I'm like,
it's funny. It's almost like games back in the 80s, like in the 80s, like Super NES. Like there was no hand holding, like showing you how to play the game. You just had to figure it out. You didn't even get an instruction manual.
Yeah.
And I think we've gotten used to getting tutorials and saying, okay, this, because when
like the first level of every game is a tutorial.
Because when I got in the game, I figured stuff out pretty quick. I was like, okay, obviously we got shot. The buckets to take the water out, the planks that are, I was figuring stuff out. But it didn't bother me. Like I think the mechanics of the game and how you work as a team. Like I was the only person on the ship that knew C commands, but that's because I'm a military guy. So I knew, I was telling people port, and they were like, "What the hell is port?" And I'm like, "Never mind, just go to the left." Just go. And I'm like, and I'm telling them what cell to put up, and they're looking like, what are you talking about? Like, dude, we don't know this naval terminology.
That's gonna be the funniest game. That's how you're gonna learn how people don't know they left from their right. You tell them right, they be like, "No, they got said right."
And so, and that's the other thing, like what cells to put up. Like I knew all the cells were what they were, and people were like, "What are you talking about?" So I said, well, maybe if they said, let's kind of label them and say, okay, look, we can put this here, put this here. This teaches people their naval commands, sea commands. I mean, like I'm telling the guy to go northwest, and he was like, "What's northwest?" And I'm like, "Dude, you're steering the ship. There's a compass beside you."
Wow.
And it was a simple stuff like that. So I think the fun aspect of this game, and kind of maybe to some people maybe but to me, the reason I had fun is because everybody was kind of learning. But yeah, in a sense, I see what you're saying. Like I didn't know I had a gun until I started pressing buttons, and if I press Y, do the Call of Duty. Like I always go back to every game has a Call of Duty control scheme. So immediately when I picked up the game, I was like, okay, A has to be the jump, Y has to be change your buttons, B has to be the crouch, and X has to be the reload. Yep. And for the most part, that was basically, I want to run faster, clicking the stick. So it's the Call of Duty control scheme. And I'm like, okay, I understood the control scheme. It was just, what exactly am I doing in this game? And we were figuring out little things on the map, and that was interesting. But I'm like, okay, I'm on a ship with 3 other people, and I was asking questions like, can we have more people on our ship? Is everybody online like a real person? Is there AI? Like, because I didn't know, I was confused. I'm like,
everybody's online.
When we started attacked by this small ship, and it had 2 people on there. And then I see another small ship, and those 2 ships, and I was like, these damn AI. So we're shooting at them, and then I realized they weren't AI; they were real people. And I was like, oh, right. So I think that this game, in a sense, and I know you're gonna what's your next subject about? It's gonna go into your next subject that you're gonna talk about, and that's why I have, I guess, some concerns. Just some concerns, but for the most part, I think it's a fun game.
The reason I made that comment about the hand holding and a tutorial and all that stuff is because people have become very accustomed to that's how games are. Yeah. So if that was my initial reaction, like into the game, I'm okay with it, with learning the controls and all that stuff. I'm just saying from a marketing perspective, when you see people go out there, they have no idea what they're doing, no direction. It may give them a bad first impression of what otherwise might be a good game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You hear?
Attic's in the building.
Attic, are you
Down here?
Oh,
Okay.
you bought it.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm assuming you didn't get to play Sea of Thieves just yet, right? You probably just got home.
Word.
All right, cool. So we were just sharing our impressions and on it, and that does bring us to the next topic, and that's the Xbox Game Pass update. I made a video. The news came out. Was it with 2 days? Yesterday, right? Holy crap! Yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday. Yesterday was a great day in gaming, actually.
Yeah, got the God of War 4 release date. People are happy about that. Get high and play God of War on the same day. That's awesome.
Hey, you ain't lying. I'm just saying.
So, Xbox Game Pass, for those who've been living under a rock or who've just have been behind, Xbox Game Pass is received an update that it will all brand new Xbox first party exclusive will launch and Game Pass day and date with their global release. So that means games like Sea of Thieves on March 20th will be available on Game Pass on March 20th. For instead of pre-ordering Sea of Thieves for $60 or or waiting and see, you could try it for $10. You could try Sea of Thieves and a bunch of other games that's already there, but it's like, wow, $10. I get to have access to the full whole, not no 10-hour trial, not no 8-hour trial, but the full game until I decide not to pay for this service anymore, or however long is in here. And if they do decide to take this game out of here, let's say within a month or so, or 2 months, 3 months, I can still buy it if I like it at a discounted rate. And I think that's awesome. Before I give my full explanation of how I feel about it, I do want the floor, everyone else, to be able to share their thoughts on the Game Pass update. How do you feel about brand new blockbusters being able to launch into this subscription service day and date with their retail release? Who wants to go first at that?
I'll start. You gotta define blockbuster.
When I say blockbuster, meaning
because
since they said all their first party games, since Halo a blockbuster, Gears is a blockbuster, hopefully Crackdown can be a blockbuster, Forza Horizon blockbuster type material. That's those big materials. We know. I'm just saying that if it's a first party game from Xbox, that includes all their first party lineup, and they have some blockbusters that will be launching right then and there on their major holiday release or whatever they release is going to be in there as well.
I think that's a smart business move, to be honest with you, because not everybody's going to be able to shell out $60 for damn near every game. I can go spend the past $9.99 every month and be done with the game. Be fine with it. But there's particular games that 70-80% of those games on the Xbox Live Game Pass I already done played and beat. Mm-hmm. So personally, with me, it's not helping me none. But for the people that don't got a lot of money, you can spend $10 and keep going and pay your way and play a whole bunch of games. For them to have their first party stuff, that's their service. If everybody else can do a streaming service, why not Microsoft?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hulu can do it. Netflix can do it. PlayStation, that's PlayStation Now. That streams. You can stream your games. But then with Xbox Pass, you can have possibly purchase a game that you like, and it depends. You might get it for a real good discount price, and sometimes Microsoft has some sweet sales when it comes to those games. Mm-hmm. So if your pockets ain't right, if your pocket's light, I suggest you get the pass, $10 a month. Don't get the $120, because you might get some games that you may not like, and then you'll be like, damn, why waste $120? Just spend the $10 a month, and hopefully you have a game that you like that sticks and has a sweet sale, versus spending a physical copy game that's going to cost you $60 and say you don't like it. Then you take it back to GameStop. You're going to get less money for the game anyway. And if you get a digital copy and you don't like the game, you just asked out. Because there's a couple of games I got. I don't want it. I want to get rid of it. and I'm stuck with it. I can't even get my money back on my game. Like Monopoly
That's
Plus. True. Monopoly Plus.
I fucks with Monopoly Plus. You don't like Monopoly Plus?
It lags out. It lags people out the game. Like I can be playing for like 2 hours and a half, and one of the players will log out, and then 2 players will log out, and I've been having trouble. But yeah, but that's how I feel with the. It's everything's starting to be a service now. This is gonna be like the wave of these service-based, these game-based services. So if you got the cash, go for it.
All right. You Attic, you back?
I'm here, man.
All right. What's your thoughts on the Game Pass news? What is your take on it?
I had concerns, but Aaron Greenberg pretty much put those away.
Crap, you about to say something important, but you're botting a little bit.
I said I had concerns, but Aaron Greenberg kind of put those concerns away when he said that they're going to stay on Game Pass.
Oh, okay. Oh, because you were. Oh, yeah. Because I remember we were in a party. And you said you think they were going to take it out probably within like a month, right?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I mean, like, part of me feels like this is a good move, but the other part of me is like, if this backfires, it could cost them millions. Because, like, you get that consistent money every month, but when you start putting first-party exclusives in there and you get people the option to buy for 10 and not 60, like, are you you're betting a lot. You're betting that more people. So what they're betting is they're betting more people are going to stay on that service to play these games. But I feel like a lot of people are going to pick these up, play it, and then drop the service in like a month. And then they pay $10 for a game. And let's say, they're hoping that there's a mass majority of the casual base that jump on this. And it could work out for them. But then again, it could work out that, a fraction of the people they thought were going to pick up to equal out to that $60 for every retail game.
They say that your mic is bottom on the chat.
Yeah, it's heavily bottom.
Yeah.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Nah, it's still
No, you might have to
I think that's how it comes back in. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what though? I'll take it from there. Okay, so the first party games are going to stay there. But like, for example, like what we're doing, the guys that are watching YouTube and doing YouTube, we are in the vast minority. So maybe for us, something like Game Pass wouldn't necessarily apply. But for people that weren't going to buy the next Halo or the next Gears or weren't going to buy Sea of Thieves, maybe this gives them a reason to jump on it and play those games. Or there's another scenario. The other scenario would be look, how many first party games is Xbox dropping this year? 4, right?
We're going to talk about that as far as exclusive, but
right.
But yeah, but for the 4 we know for first party is 4. Yeah, 4.
Yeah, 4. All right. So we got Forza, Crackdown, State of Decay, Sea of Thieves, right? 60 times 4 is what? All right, wait, that's what, 240, correct?
Yeah.
So
sorry, I was biting into chicken. Sorry.
No, it's okay. So for Johnny that just got an Xbox, right, and he just happens to want to buy every single Xbox One exclusive that's coming to the platform, well, if you buy if you buy Johnny the $10 a month Game Pass, man, he could play all those games. I do think from the casual market, man, I do think that's something that could take off. I think the hardcore gamer, I mean the ones that are Xbox fans, hardcore Xbox, man, you're gonna buy those first party exclusives regardless. So honestly, I think it's a great move, to be honest. And you would figure that as the generation goes longer, Xbox has more chances of acquiring a larger player base. I mean, Sony's at how many? 72, 74, 75 million. God knows what they're at right now.
77.
Exactly.
77.
They're 77.
We have those Sony fans that they all have 1080 Ti's and SLI, right? I don't need an Xbox, right? We know that those exist because that is the biggest one that I hear, right? Every PlayStation fan has 1080 Ti's and SLI.
Yeah. Can you guys hear me better?
Oh yeah,
perfect.
Yes,
clean,
much better.
Right. So for those guys, now you can get on Game Pass, and now you'll be able to play those games that you weren't going to buy an Xbox for. So I think from a business perspective, man, that's a home run. And at the end of the day, it's becoming more and more clear that Xbox is becoming a service, and a lot of people take that as that's a bad thing. I don't see it as a bad thing, to be honest with you. The larger the player base, regardless of the device you play on, that's a positive. That means more money, more games are coming.
Right.
The gaming industry is changing, right, with the times. As time goes, as we get older and stuff like that. With gaming companies, especially with hardware and software, you have to be able to adapt to the situation. If you cannot, you're gonna be bound to drill down. I'm gonna be honest with you. And I think Microsoft is just making an investment on some future revenue. And like I said, if everybody else can do it, why not Microsoft?
100% agree. In fact, Smooth, in your video, you covered some of those exact same points, man. To be honest with you, you make great points there.
Thank you. Thank you for paying attention, Merc.
Yeah, right? There you go.
All right. So, and by the way, you guys have been doing a terrific job while I've been in Twitter jail. So shout out to Merc, Gaming Addict, Frog. Awesome. All right. So,
I mean, you're going to be in Twitter jail for a while. So
yeah.
Then why are you in Twitter jail in the first place? If I'm
because there's some.
Let's just say
Smooth doing what Smooth does.
Okay, well, you can tell me. You can tell me the message. You don't have to tell me now.
No, I was trying not to be so explicit, but there's some.
You had a discussion with somebody and it didn't transpose well for you, like you didn't agree, and it just got heated. And that's it.
Yeah, I try to explain the situation without getting so angry, but every time I do, I want to say the words "fuck," "bitch," "ass," and "nigga" in the sentence, and I can't share the story without saying it because. Anyway, it's like I'm being censored on Twitter. I'm not allowed to speak. They're gonna if I cuss, if I'm arguing with somebody. They see it. They got me on some sort of notification list, like whoever's reporting me. So every time I tweet, they get notified. And if they see me like arguing with somebody and I say something that's reportable, they'll report me.
Yeah, they lurking like that. Ugh, it's the worst.
Yeah. Well,
but anyway, so Game Pass, right?
Yeah.
I feel like everybody's worried about the wrong things. People like, well, damn, this is gonna backfire because people could just get it for like $10. They won't make enough. People like they're not creating Game Pass or putting these games in Game Pass to increase the sales of that particular game. You know what I mean? It's to increase their revenue to Microsoft first party, to increase the subscription of Game Pass, to get more money out of a Game Pass, and something must have worked for them to make this decision because people are like, oh damn, their Halo 5 or the next Halo ain't gonna sell that much because of Game Pass, or the next Forza ain't gonna sell that much because of Game Pass. And I'm like, that's not the case. That's not what matters. They're not looking at that because at the end of the day, it's gonna be those subscription numbers that actually count. And people don't understand that. Even though the industry is growing as far as console sales, how popular certain games are, but software isn't selling like that, right? So what the industry needs to do is they need to maximize what their potential is. And maybe looking at it from like, damn, Microsoft sold this much, Nintendo sold this much, Sony sold this much. Damn, we should be able to get this on it. Because if you're looking at that, you're never going to hit those marks, right? So now you have to really capitalize on what was actually realistic. That's why Microsoft don't talk about how much consoles they sold, and they go to monthly active users. And I guarantee you, in about 6 months, Sony will be doing that exclusively because it's what matters. Because that tells your shareholders who you really selling to, right? Does it really matter that Xbox sold this many millions this holiday, or does it matter how often do they keep 50 million people online? Because that's what they need to see. Because that's the people that sell. That's the people that's going to be buying games. How often is that number fluctuating, right? How like where's your lows? Like what's your peak and what's the low? Because not everybody's on a 12 months Xbox Live subscription. Right. Some people are on monthly. Some people are on a 6 months plan. People buy little 14-day trials here, so they can get a gauge every month. They can see what's going on, and that gives them a realistic idea of what their potential is. So that's why when Xbox is like, well, we thought this game was very successful, and this thing was very successful, and people looking at it like, well, how you only sold this? Because they're looking at They're looking at the wrong numbers. You need to look at your active users, because people forget we buy consoles that, like, for right now, PlayStation is selling consoles, right? They selling a whole lot of them because it's the thing to have, right? But how many of these people that's buying PlayStations, right, or the casuals that just bought it just to have it because it's cheap right now, and that's just going to be sitting there? I got so many cousins. I go in the house, they have an Xbox, or they'll have a PlayStation, but it's not being played. It's just
they buy one game for it all year long.
Yeah, it's just
one or two
there.
games, right?
Yeah, it's just sitting there. So that's not counted in the active users. That's not a potential customer for those people who want to know, damn, what's my potential for this game? You know what I mean? So with Game Pass is that, sure, if it's not really to maximize on game sales, it's to get onto the subscription game, because like I said, with music, the music done this, and they're now completely it's almost exclusively streaming or subscription based with music, right?
It's been like that for a long time now.
Yeah, the movie industry done it with Netflix, Hulu, and cable companies are trying to find a way to keep up because they were late to the game, right? So movies and music is already done. They already got it online. There's already millions upon millions, near billions, invested and done. I can imagine how much Netflix is making a month. And these are subscriptions.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You can't buy Bright. You know what I mean? How much did Bright sell? No, how many people watch Bright when it came out? That's what's being measured. That's what's being added. So with this Game Pass thing, it's like, all right, it's almost about time for games. Sony.
The question is though, does Netflix spend the money that Microsoft does to make games? I don't think they do.
Oh.
Does Netflix spend the money that Microsoft?
But
imagine what a Halo 6 would cost to produce, and imagine what Bright costs to make.
Well, here's the thing. I guess I look at it because I have a whole different look on this. Like, I think it's really positive for the consumer. This whole pass thing, I think it's positive.
It's good. It's positive for the consumer. But for this perspective, I'm not looking at it as a consumer. I'm looking at it as a consumer that's worried about the franchise's future. And
that's what I was going to say.
Drastically drop down the road, and theoretically could work exactly how they want. What they want is they want people to double down, and they want 6 casuals to pick up for every hardcore, and that would make it up for it. And then not to mention they pay that those 6 people will pay that $10 subscription for multiple months, and it will pay for the game multiple times. That's what they want.
Yeah.
But the question is, are they going to get that?
You know what though? It's funny. Game Pass was announced with the Microsoft first-party exclusives yesterday, right? The perception prior to yesterday, when you talked about people, when you talk to people about Game Pass, especially people like us that are playing a lot of games and playing all the time. Yeah. Oh, would you get Game Pass? No. But now a whole bunch of people will be like, oh man, I'll entertain the idea. So if that's now at the beginning, I gotta believe, man. I mean, that casual market will be super interested, especially that you're gonna be able to play Halo 6. I just see that being a win-win for Microsoft, for both the customer and Microsoft. On top of that, these games are getting way more expensive to produce now, and the fact that they have Game Pass, that Microsoft wants to keep you on the hook for the $10 a month, Microsoft's gonna be supporting those games. It's way longer to keep you engaged.
Look, I mean, it's easy to forget that you're paying $10 a month for something.
Of course.
I was supposed to cancel Apple Music 6 months ago.
Yeah. Oh, really? But you didn't though.
No, I forget. It's like well, I use it on my way home when I'm taking long drives. I use it. It's like whatever.
But that's what I was about to ask you, and that's where I say it's a double-edged sword. I see pros and cons, because me personally, I'm the same with a lot of people in here. Like, Game Pass has no value to me because I own such a big library of games. So for the value, and this is how I look at it. On one hand, this is really for a more casual audience, for the hardcore person that plays their Xbox or whatever console they play. This is really not, in a sense, it's not really for them. Because when I look at that 165 games on Game Pass, I was like, I've either played most of these on another console or somewhere else, or I own them. So this is not for me. So if we just talk about the 4 games that are come out this year, right? I'm probably going to buy at least 3 of those 4 games. This is 3 of those 4 games, and I'm going to probably buy them from Best Buy at 20% discount. So that's $135 compared to me spending $120. and then I can trade those games back in if I don't like them. That's one avenue I look at it. But then on the flip side, I'm like, well, Halo 5. Let's use Halo 5. Halo 5 sold 5 million, right? If that game was also on Game Pass, it would have probably did a bigger user base number. And I can understand why Microsoft is doing this. But a part of me thinks, and I know people are going to hate me in the chat for this, especially these diehard Xbox guys, a part of me thinks that, yes, this is going to become a service-based thing, but this is going to be, when Microsoft say Play Anywhere, you may see this on Sony's next platform as an app that you can just play your Xbox game as long as you have an Xbox Live account. You may see this on I can see this being the future.
Really?
Hold on. Hear me out.
Okay, I'm hearing you.
What I'm saying is, Microsoft is eventually, because this is the thing right now. Look at, they're letting you download these games, but they're also going to go into the streaming service, because we talk about streaming. Streaming is real big. Streaming is huge. Like, most people stream everything. I can't remember the last time that I bought a Blu-ray, for a 4K Blu-ray movie. I don't own but one, and that was just to test my X out, or a DVD or music or anything like that. Everybody's streaming everything. So Microsoft, now. And the talk is like this: like, if next generation, if they say, hey, your next console that's coming out, is going to be a stream box download only console, how would you feel about that? Are you going to be on board with that? Or, hey, you know what? The next console is not really a console. It's just an app you can download on your smart TV. You can download on wherever you want. So you actively have, and think about this, you actively have a separate account on, let's just say, for instance, Nintendo's new system or PlayStation's new system. You got an Xbox Live account on there. When you log into it, it logs into all your stuff that's Xbox related. You can play all your Xbox games. It's separate. It's a separate account, but you can go back to play your PlayStation whenever. So I can see that being the future.
Can I ask you a question? Because people always do this. Like, I don't know why it irks me a little bit. It was like, oh, well, I can see that now Xbox Game Pass being on PlayStation and Nintendo. Like, PlayStation has a streaming service where you can play PlayStation games. You could play it on PC now. Why can't that can't land on Xbox? But Xbox Game Pass will land on PlayStation, where you have to download
it vice versa. Yeah, it could. It could land. You said, could PlayStation now land on Xbox?
PlayStation now should easily be able to do it. But you think Xbox Game Pass, where you download the Xbox games and they just run on PlayStation?
No. See, you're missing what I'm saying. You didn't hear what I said. Streaming. I didn't say download. I said
they don't have streaming yet, though. That's
not like no. When we talk about the future of gaming, and we're just talking about,
but I want to talk about Game Pass now.
Right, like, but that's what I'm talking about. Game Pass is leading into something. This is leading back into what Microsoft wanted to do, and Sony wanted to do at the beginning of 2013. They wanted you to download your games, it be their online only service. That's what they both wanted. And that's what we're basically come to. Think about how many games we play that are online only. You cannot play without an internet connection. That's a lot of games. And from 2013 to now, there's a lot of games you cannot play without the internet connection. Big games, Destiny, you cannot play without internet. So my whole thing about it is, I could really see Microsoft doing this, and this could be profitable for them. I'm not saying it's negative. It could be profitable for them, because you're going to have the little Timmies out there who mom buys them an Xbox and like, you know what? I don't have a whole bunch of money to give you a whole bunch of games. But you know what? $9 a month is nothing. You got 160 something games. And next generation, it may be just an app. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you look at
we get ready to confirm it's not going to be an app, because they're working on next generation consoles now.
Okay. Right? What I'm saying is, Microsoft, everything they've done is apps. Apps this, apps that, apps this. And that's,
technically games are apps too.
Right. But what I'm saying is oh my gosh. You guys are just looking past the point. When you
said they did apps,
hold on.
What was the app?
Can't agree to disagree, though.
Hold on. When you get your Xbox One, let's disagree to this. When you get your Xbox One, the first time no matter day one, you got your Xbox One and you want to play a DVD in it, what did you have to do?
You download the app.
Right?
Yeah.
When you got your PlayStation 4 and you put a DVD in it, did it download the app?
I don't know. That wasn't the first thing I did with my PlayStation.
It didn't. What I'm saying is, Microsoft specifically, a company, they're focused on apps. They're focused on Windows-centric stuff. So this is not a bad thing. I'm not saying anything is bad about this. What I'm saying is, the reality is, if one day you wake up and you got a box sitting there and it just happens to be whatever box it is, don't be surprised if there's an Xbox Live app on there. That's not a bad thing, because it's a win for everybody. But you know what I'm saying? Because I know people are going to get offended because they want to defend that platform. But this is the way Microsoft is going. They're like, okay, we want this to be a service. Yeah, it's going to be an app. You're going to be able to download it here, and vice versa.
I'll be honest with you. I don't think they're going to put an app like that, and you can be able to play your game through your phone. I just don't see it.
I think it's coming.
I think
they want to be. They want to be. They want to be.
They want to try to compete with the Switch.
They want to compete with Steam. That's who they're competing against. Steam is
on PlayStation and on Switch.
No, what I'm saying is Microsoft wants to be Steam. They want to be Steam. This is just their next step to doing it. I could see them really pushing this.
But I feel like all right. Well, we'll agree to disagree.
But then on the flip side, you know, Gaming Egg says something that kind of made me think too, because I've been talking about this too. Is like the value of their properties, right? And me and you had this smooth. The value of their property is like, okay, so Halo comes out. Are they going to have a bigger user base because people are subscribing to Game Pass because now they can play it for $10? Yeah, they are. But how many people are actively? Because I think about it. Yeah. So what Microsoft, I see in the future, they're gonna put these numbers up. X amount of people are on Game Pass with this game downloaded. Blah 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 blah. That's going to look good, but in the long run, how long are people going to really keep that subscription service? Because to me personally, I'm one of those guys. I'm just going to buy the game if I want it.
This is the best case scenario.
You can't multiply yourself by like
no. I'm talking about my personal.
This is the best.
I think it's good for consumers, but it's not for everybody. Like for me,
yeah, of course, it's not for everyone. That's why it's not like Netflix isn't for everyone. It's like,
and I think a bigger reason to me why it doesn't matter is, and people say it, and people just don't want to admit this. When you look at their exclusive lineup, they don't have a huge first party exclusive lineup.
That's why backwards compatibility was so important.
No.
Game Pass is full of like 3 generations of games. That's why I was like, that's why it was so important. You can fill up. They started the program. It started with older games. It opened up to 360 games, opened up to Xbox games, and now there's current games in there. And now there's going to be brand new games in there. So they had to start somewhere. Like Netflix started with old B-rated movies.
Like, right, but
yesterday's big news was about first party games coming there day one, day in out. And I was like, what list of first party games in the next year are coming there that like, and so that's my whole thing. It's like they're first party games. They're like people are like acting like they have like there's such a huge library of first party games just to play day one and day out. And I'm like, look, it's not for everybody. For me, when you got 3 or 4 first party games, I don't need this service. I'm like, you got 3 or 4. If this was Sony, it'd be a whole different thing because they got like 12, 13, 15 first party games that come out and it gets the year gets so frustrated and try to play all these games. When you got 3 or 4 games, like for some people, it's not going to matter. For some people, they're going to be like, I'm only going to buy 2 or 3 of these games anyway, or I wasn't going to buy like Sea of Thieves. Like some people are like, I'm not going to buy Sea of Thieves at all. Sea of Thieves numbers is going to go through the roof because of this. And that's a great thing for the game. That it really is. I was going to buy it because I just wanted to try it. It's a first party game. You can't play anywhere else other than its console. Screw PC. You can't play it anywhere else. It's a Microsoft IP. So I was going to buy it. It's the same with Crackdown. It's the same with State of Decay. But then I'm looking like, I don't need Game Pass for it because once again, like their first party lineup to me isn't so big that I need to have a Game Pass.
You know what though?
I mean, if you buy State of Decay and you buy any other game, and you know, even if they have 4, so they have State of Decay, let's see, Sea of Thieves, and you know, say they had 4 games come out in 1 year, which they usually have a couple more than that,
right?
I mean, just 2 is a whole year of Game Pass, so you mean you saved what $60?
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but I don't look at it like that. Like I know what games I'm going to buy throughout the year. I'm like, Microsoft has these 3 games. I'm like, this is what I'm looking forward to. So I'm cool with buying these 3 games. Like I don't have to. I'm cool with buying 3 games 20% off at Best Buy and spending $135.
I'm cool with buying 4 games for $10.
What I'm saying, but I don't look at it like that.
Everybody's pockets ain't the same. Everybody's pockets ain't the same.
Right, and
so you're gonna have to adjust with that. People gonna have to adjust with that. How your pockets is.
Right,
my pockets may not be the same as your pockets.
And I guess.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I'm saying.
Let's take this how it is.
Yeah, right. We all gonna agree to disagree, bro. Because it seems like there's pros and cons on both aspects of this.
Right.
Look,
you know what? I'll draw this last comparison. Go ahead.
I think that this shows that they are going. They might make that occasional Fable or Quantum Break, but this is the straw where I think that they're going away from single player games. Because
what?
the only way I could see that this would work is if they put such bomb multiplayer games like Sea of Thieves, Halo, Gears, to where people would have to consistently stay into this subscription to keep playing them over and over again.
Yep, exactly what Attic just said was what I was going to say. The reason this wouldn't work for Sony at all, in fact, it would be a complete failure, would be those games are I'm not saying strictly single player, but I mean, that's the reason you're buying Uncharted. That's the reason you're buying The Last of Us. That, they're heavy on the single player game. So what's going to happen? Like a Game Pass would work for Sony. The only way it could work out is if you're multiplayer heavy. And the truth is, I mean, Xbox has very multiplayer heavy type of games. That's the direction that Xbox is heading in. So that's the reason why I think that for Sony, that wouldn't work. That's just my opinion.
And I have another question. Here's the other question I had to answer myself too. Do other companies, third-party companies, jump on this and put their multiplats on there? You know, does EA, does Activision put a Call of Duty on there? Does this bode well for them, or do they look at this and say, well, shoot, we're selling 10 million, 12 million, but we can do 25 million, 35 million, the user base and stuff? Like, is this good for third parties too? Or third parties not really? You see what I'm saying? Like, that's what I kind of look at, because first party, great, but are third parties going to really jump on this with any of their new IPs? That's the other thing.
It's a wait and see thing. They were okay to they're testing it out because they agreed to put their older games on there. So they want to see how they do it. The first person, but that's the only way you can gauge it. Like, you have to gauge it with something. So, all right, we're gonna allow you to license for all the 360 games that we put it for. Yes, those can go to Game Pass. We'll see how those do, and then we'll see if we want to launch day and date. Watch Ubisoft, watch EA. EA is probably less likely to do it only because they had a service, and now they're probably kicking themselves because they could have really jumped on this immediately since they already had the foundation for it.
It doesn't make them money. Not realistically, it makes Microsoft more money. So
no, EA Access makes EA money.
Yeah, EA. That's what I'm saying.
That's why I said it would be. They had the foundation itself for it to do it, but they just didn't do it. They kind of they put the Vaseline on it first, right? And
what about Activision?
I mean, the thing that they want is, do they want to sell 1 million copies of State of Decay 2, or do they want to sell 1 million subscriptions for $10 a month for 12 months and get that money for 12 months?
Makes more sense.
Then get one orderly money for 50. But I get that, and I do. But like, I feel like, if it works the way and I hope it does, like I do. And, given the casual base a $10 entry fee to play, that game, but, and that you be surprised. Like, I've told you guys a couple of times, I work for people, that take payments like frequently. You'd be surprised how many people won't even notice $10 that's coming out of their bank account every month.
Right.
And they will literally pay that for a couple of years. And it's like, what is that? And then that's when they call you.
Right.
So, I would not be surprised if it surges. Sea of Thieves, maybe. I think the moment that would surge is when Halo comes out, like bad. And it goes from, have they ever said any kind of numbers how much Game Pass has right now when it comes to subscriptions?
No, Microsoft doesn't really talk.
I'm sure it did a lot over the holiday since it was $1 for like the first. Remember
I got that dollar egg
not to
pass for a month. Yeah,
and not to mention, we're looking at the something that's very important. What's going to be in these multiplayer games? Microtransactions. So you give someone a $10 entry fee, and they end up spending what they would have spent on the game in microtransactions.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
I think this is a beneficial thing to people if you can get third parties involved with this. And you said older games, but I don't see any major Activision games in there. I don't see any major Ubisoft games in there. I don't see any major titles from any of the big three.
You said major Ubisoft, they got all their Assassin's Creeds in there.
I'm saying major ones. What's the Assassin's Creeds they have in there?
It's an Assassin's Creed.
Do they have Origins in there? Do they have Black Flag in there?
Well, no, I said older games. Like, why would I have
That's my whole point. My whole point is
we just explained that though.
But my whole point is you're saying, calm down. You're saying older games. What I'm saying is
older. That's why I said 360.
But here's the point:
2013 and 2014 games.
But you gotta hold on. But you gotta look at the value, because from a value from a person, it's like, ooh, I get my first party exclusives. Well, what a third party game? What a third party is gonna give me? And it's like, well, here's some old 360 games we had on here.
I don't think a casual know what a third party or first party is. But the thing is that would the Ubisofts and EA, the thing is they can do it. It would help if Sony and Nintendo had a platform that did the same thing, because then it would be easier. It's harder. Ubisoft has a foundation to do it. They just don't have enough games to support their own subscription service. That's why EA can't really come out the gate and do that either, because they don't have enough games that they produce that they can hold in a subscription service that you want to be subscribed for to play their games, or like on a month to pay $10 a month on their service. So they would probably have to sign like some sort of deal with Microsoft, like how Apple does with certain singers and rappers. They give them like a bonus, and boom, you can launch. They get exclusive rights for like to launch in there, like day and date, or hear it here first, or watch it here first. It would be something like that would happen, and they'll be able to do that depending on how profitable the subscription service is. And that's what's going on now. But for some reason, a lot of people watch it happen with music, they watch it happen with movies, but for some reasons, when it comes to video games, they think it's like foreign. I'm like, what?
I don't think it's foreign. I just think on the console side it's a little different. If we're talking about the PC is one thing, but the console side is very different. Console and PC, like PC is a whole different animal, and they've been doing a lot of things on PC similar to this. Whereas console, this is a really new thing. It's a really new ideal. It's super risky, and I think it can work. You know, I really do.
I don't think it's a risk at all. You know why? Because Game Pass has been out for how long? It's been out throughout this. So it came out this summer, right?
Yeah, something like that.
So I mean, otherwise the idea of Game Pass itself would be risky. But for some people to watch Game Pass launch and not think this would be the end goal. Like I still believe that there's going to be games that launch exclusively in Game Pass.
First party or third party?
Games in general, they like indie games, like, or like some sort of those episodic games. They're going to launch there, because what happens is it's going to become a platform where you got smaller studios who don't have the budget or the financial means to get out a big release or to hire a publisher, and they can launch their game right into Game Pass and pick up a buzz from there.
Now I could see that I could see. I just like, and I think the indie studios, yeah, but I just look and say, will you ever see a Call of Duty day one on there versus Sony has their exclusives DLC, right? And then Microsoft says, well, we got it on Game Pass day one. Will something like that ever happen? Because that's because
they won't do a deal like that, because that wouldn't bode well for their other business partners. You're not going to give somebody else exclusive DLC and then give somebody else an even premium deal. It just doesn't work like that. So whether third parties jump in, if third parties jump in, the first third party that jumps in, you're going to see, it will kind of be the telling signs of how well it's doing. If you got third parties like, hey, we're gonna launch day one in the Game Pass, because that would be a big deal. So that means like maybe this is the wave, because all these publishers wish they can actually do that. They just don't have the platform to do it. They have to put their own platform on PlayStation, Nintendo, and Xbox to do that. If you think about it, they either have to do that. They have to hope Sony and Nintendo come up with something like that so they can do it, or they have to build a subscription platform and put it on their consoles.
I think if this works, I could see Sony or Nintendo doing something similar. Maybe not as much Nintendo, maybe Sony, because like I said, I think Nintendo's a whole different company. They march their own drum. They do their own things. People look at that company, they say, oh, they're failures, but they're the only true game company. So they do their own thing. Microsoft they got software to fall back on. Sony has their electronics. Nintendo's the only game company. So Nintendo's gonna do, they're the only game company left. Like, there's no more Sega. It's just, you know, as far as the big three, Microsoft and Sony aren't really game companies. They do other stuff other than games. Nintendo does too, but their primary thing is games. So when I look at this, I think this is a great thing for the consumer. I don't think it's for everybody, but on the flip side, I'm like, where is the success of this gonna go? As far as, because like when he said first party, I was like, interesting. But then I was like, well, if you only have, you know, X amount of first parties, yeah, you're gonna. If some people they can say you're gonna save money here or there, but I'm just like, well, I have an Xbox, I have this system, I have this system. I know when Microsoft says we got these games coming out this year, and they announce these 3 or 4 games, I'm only gonna get 3 of the 4 or 4 of the 4. I'm like, well, why am I going to get Game Pass? Yeah, I could spend $10, but I think honestly, they're going to make money off this because people are going to abuse the system, and that's fine because that's great for them. And I think that you're going to see a bigger insurge of people who would never play these games or buy these games on Game Pass, and that's a good thing. But the perception is a bigger thing to me, and I think the perception it may be successful into some areas, but what's the quality of the games we're gonna get? Like,
you mean the quality? You're not losing the games that he's gotten. It's just that it goes into this program. Well,
I'm saying because you said like blockbusters. Like,
Halo is Halo not a blockbuster?
But no, what I'm saying is
now no longer a blockbuster.
Because no. What I'm saying is like this is talk about the games we have coming this year that we know of. Right?
No, but I'm just saying. Well, you can't talk about Game Pass of this announcement when it impacts mostly the future.
But you said blockbuster. So we just talked
Halo is a blockbuster. We know there's going to be another Halo. We know there's
going to be talking about games. We know there's going to be we know that he said that. But I'm saying we're talking about the games.
Have you read their press release?
Yes,
they specifically mentioned Halo 6.
Yes,
I
my God, that's right.
Okay, is Halo coming this year?
No, but why now? Why is it now limited to this year? If the thing starts this year, starts March 20th.
But is Halo coming this year?
It doesn't matter. The announcement was for the future of Game Pass and how it's going to work now.
The point I'm trying to say, from some people's eyes and how they look at it, is like, well, I know it's coming this year. Is Game Pass worth it to me, or is it not worth it? When people
may not be worth it to you right now, it may be worth it next year. It's like you're thinking from like this. I feel like you're thinking from like such a standpoint that I get where you're coming from, but it's not your.
I don't think
you're ignoring too many like factors, and I can't break it down. But like,
here's the thing: I was gonna buy Sea of Thieves day one. Do I think it's a $60 game that I played the alpha? No, but I still was gonna buy it because I support my first party titles on all my platforms.
Yeah, but you said that like 4 times.
Hold on. But my whole thing is the general consensus of most people is they know 3 to maybe 4 games that are coming this year. It doesn't matter if Phil Spencer says Halo, Gears, and our Forza. We know those games are coming, but we know this year, we know 3 definite games they said they were confirmed that are coming this year, possibly 4. Out of those 4 games, how many of those are blockbuster games?
So you're taking me saying blockbusters when I was clearly referencing the blockbusters that will be on the console to what games are coming out this year. I don't know what game's going to be a blockbuster that's not Halo, Gears, and Forza because they haven't arrived yet. So I'm not going to be like you're not going to say Sea of Thieves is a blockbuster because it hasn't come out yet. We can't call it until after it releases. We can't say that about Crackdown. We can't say that about State of Decay. Right. So when I said blockbusters, I don't understand how the
were you
idea
speaking
of Halo
franchises?
What?
I'm saying, what were you speaking of when you said?
I was speaking of their blockbuster franchises. Like, why?
So Halo
is that hard to like? I don't understand.
No, I'm asking because I'm trying to get an understanding. So you were speaking of Halo, Gears, and Forza as their blockbuster titles because you don't know Sea of Thieves, you don't know of Crackdown, and we don't know.
I can't give those blockbuster titles. They haven't even launched yet.
Right, but my whole thing is the perception, and I say perception is what's killing Microsoft this generation. Perception. But
what does that like? What perception?
Well, because it goes back to this. It goes back to like I said, there's a double-edged sword here because there are a lot of people out there, like I said, that would never play Sea of Thieves, and if this hadn't came out, that game probably wouldn't have sold as well. And then everybody be like, well, see, this is why Microsoft doesn't do this because their community base doesn't support them, right? But then, hold on. Their community base doesn't support their first-party IPs that are new. They only play Halo, Gears, and Forza because they're considered to be blockbusters. So Thieves is not going to get the credit it gives due. Their State of Decay game, because those games, we can all look at these 3 games coming this year that we know of and say they probably wouldn't got to support because the mentality is they're not of the same caliber as Halo, Gears, or Forza. So in a retrospect, it's like now when they came out with Game Pass and said, hey, $10 a month, you can play these day one. Everybody's like, woohoo!
Yeah, because
I'm like, that's a great thing, but it goes back to the perception.
No, it doesn't go against the perception. It's like
no, I said goes back to, not go against.
You saying because when you know why people are excited, you keep focusing on the games they got this year, but people are excited for the whole idea that wow, all the first party games your first thing you're thinking, Halo, Gears, Forza, all the good games you like. So it doesn't matter what comes out before, after, or in between. You know, it's like when Sony announces another PlayStation or Xbox announces another Xbox. What's the first thing you're thinking about? How the next Halo or how the next Uncharted or something is going to look at it, even though it may be 3-4 years away. Even though there's games in front of our face that's coming out, that's what makes us day one people buy those consoles, because we know what we're possibly getting from there. Why'd you buy an Xbox One? Halo 5.
So
or Gears of War 4. Those were the reasons why, like, day one, boom, we know we're getting that. We know for a fact we're getting those. Yep. So it's like, why is it now like, oh, they say Game Pass, all of our first party games will be there on launch day. Let's ignore Halo, the big games that we're actually excited for, and just assume that we're only just happy for Sea of Thieves, Crackdown, and State of Decay 2. And we know that's not the case.
Hey, Hard said he want to get in here.
Oh, okay, sure. He said you need me back. Like, he doesn't want to jump in.
I thought he wanted to get in.
No. But
I think, like I said, I think this is a good thing, but I think there's a double-edged sword here, and I think that there's a lot of variables here that we don't know, and we're not going to probably know until E3. I just think there's some things here that when you look at them, you say, okay, there's some games that are going to come out, and we know a lot of people already. You can look at it on just the Twitter feed. A lot of people are going to spend their $10, and Microsoft's going to get that $10, and that's good. And they're going to play their game, and they're going to be like, this is whatever, and then they're going to cancel their subscription and wait for the next game, and what I look at is like, when that happens, does the player base drop so significantly because, now the people, it's kind of like a beta in a sense. It's like you spent, or a rental service, you spent $10, you get to try your game out. Ooh, this is horrible, or it's great. If it's great, people,
I downloaded like 7 games when Game Pass came out just to see if I like them. Games I didn't buy when they released. It's not going to be like a one game effect.
It's not going to be a one game effect.
Subscription, you have access to, at this point in time when this stuff happens, hundreds of games. So it's not like I got to see these. Oh, let me look through them. Oh, let me try this game out. Let me download it. You have an access to all those games to download that you wanted to try and play. It's not like, oh, I don't like Sea of Thieves, I'm canceling Game Pass.
I guarantee that happens. I guarantee the initial. This was going to happen. This is what I guarantee.
A large percentage of people.
Hold on, wait. I will bet you this. I guarantee a lot of people.
Because there's no measure it.
No, I guarantee. Wait, we're gonna see what happens because Microsoft is gonna start reporting numbers of the people that are on Game Pass for these numbers and how many people have downloaded. I guarantee Microsoft's gonna start doing that. They're gonna start talking numbers when they're like, oh, X amount of people are on Game Pass and have downloaded Sea of Thieves. I bet you money they're gonna do that, and that's cool. But I guarantee you that you're going to see user base fall drastically in a lot of games in the perception of those games. If Sea of Thieves come, like here's an example.
What games are you talking about?
Hold on. Let's just start with the first game. Let's say if Sea of Thieves comes out, right? And let's just say this game, the perception is like it's a 9 out of freaking 10. Let's just say that, right? That game may not only do well on Game Pass, it may actually also sell well. The user may be there to sustain it. Let's just say this game gets a 5 out of 10. So Microsoft will make their money because the $9 subscriptions, but that user base will just go whoop, and then that game will just sit on Game Pass with a small user base. So it's good for them as a company, but as us as the gamers, for a person who wants to jump in the game and play this, we're like, damn, what happened to our user base with all the people that were here? That's going to happen. I'm telling you, that's going to happen. People are going to use this as a rental system, and there's no problem with that.
Oh my God.
It's just
all right, cool.
I think that's perception in a sense of some of their games.
I think you guys just have different views on what the Game Pass is and what it should be, and it's you guys have valid points, but just wait till we first see the first new additions to the Game Pass and see how those numbers is, because we really can't tell right now. We really can't tell.
Right.
It's just a lot of speculation.
I'll actually leave it at this, right? Mm-hmm. Just by the same token that someone may get Sea of Thieves through Game Pass and be like, oh, okay, I don't really like this game. I'm going to drop the subscription. right?
And that's their business. That's their money. That's their
which is fine. That's their money.
Right.
And I'm sure that's going to happen. I'm positive that that's going to happen with that game. But what's going to happen when like a Halo 6 drops? For example, in Halo 5, I didn't particularly enjoy the story, the campaign, right? That's probably the weakest one of the franchise.
Yeah,
but in the multiplayer,
Halo 5 campaign weak.
Right, but the multiplayer, which I mean, people can argue with me that's one of the best first-person shooters multiplayer games I have played this gen by far, right? I think I have 13 or 14 days in the multiplayer, right? If you pull up my profile on Xbox, right? So if I was a Game Pass subscriber, I wouldn't be able to drop Game Pass unless I bought the game, right. Once I've been paying for it for 3, 4, 5 months. I mean, look, it's too. When did Halo 5 release? 2015.
Yeah, October.
I still play the Halo 5 multiplayer from time to time.
Yeah, me too.
You know what I mean? So it's. I see somebody in the chat say Halo 5 is trash. Maybe the campaign, but the multiplayer is tight.
No, people just say that. I think it's the
Halo 5 is
player ever freaking.
The multiplayer is lit. I don't care what anybody says. But anyways, back to what I was saying. So if somebody's so hooked into the multiplayer, which obviously the hook for Game Pass is gonna be the multiplayer aspect, right? So for games like that, like, can you imagine dropping? You got Gears. Gears 5. Obviously, the multiplayer is what keeps you. I mean, we were just playing Gears last night.
Right?
Yeah. So like, if I got Gears, right, and I got it through Game Pass. And I don't want to drop $60 on the game, or I've already been paying Game Pass for X amount of months already. And Halo 6 drop Gears. What's the chances that I'm going to drop Game Pass at that point? You know what I mean? So by the same token that some people may drop it for Sea of Thieves, I hate to say Halo, Gears, and Forza, right? When those games drop, the multiplayer aspect is so heavy and it's so well done that the likelihood of you dropping it is slim at that point, unless you buy the game.
And I think that's a good good way to look at it. I just look at it like, I'm going to spend cash on something. I'm going to have it in my hand, whether I buy it digital or, physical. I'm going to spend that $60 up front for it. I have it. It's, I can play it whenever I want. I don't want to worry about a subscription fee. And like I said, it's not for everybody. Obviously, it's not for me. I think it's a smart idea for the consumers. I think it's going to do well, but I just think, the people who buy these games, and they have that, they may end up getting hurt in the long run, because it's like, okay, well, that user base that was there was mostly Game Pass people, and now your user base isn't there anymore because people didn't feel the same way you felt about the game. So I think it's great, but for people who are like, I'm just saying, people who are like me, like, I go buy my freaking refrigerator. I don't go to a rental place like Rent-A-Center and rent it. I just go pay cash for it and buy it, and that's it. I'm done with it. That's just the kind of person I am.
Yeah, maybe I'm more okay with it, right? Because Frog, you buy all your games physical?
No, I buy most of my stuff digital. For the majority, most of it digital.
Yeah, because I am 100% digital.
Yeah,
on every platform. I don't remember the last time I bought a physical game.
Except for Switch, because the memory.
Except for Switch.
Other than that, I buy almost everything digital.
Yeah, and when Nintendo abandons the Switch, good luck getting to your digital content. Ask the Wii U owners about that.
I learned my lesson.
Exactly. I heard about that.
Exactly. That's the reason why I buy physical on the Switch. So you're right there. But outside of that, I mean, digital. I think me being all digital probably maybe jades my perception of it. Man, yeah, I could totally see Game Pass. Like, I could see that working out for some people for sure.
Right.
Yeah, BG said digital is trash.
No, and I think, like I said,
BG says digital is trash is because he still supports GameStop.
And I still want to make GameStop is horrible. But anyway, I just want to make it clear, I don't have anything against Game Pass. I think it's a great idea. I don't think it's for everybody. I know it's not for me. I just want to make that clear. Like, I'm going to support. I own an Xbox One X. I own a PS4 Pro. I own a Switch. I'm going to support my console of choice that I'm playing that game on, their first party IPs, by downloading the game digitally or going to the store and buying it. Most likely download it. I don't care about Game Pass for me. I don't care if it's $10 or $60. The way I look at it is, if the developer spent that time and I like that series that much and I believe in that series that much, I'm going to spend my hard-earned money on it and I'm going to buy it. I don't need them they don't discounting the game to me. Okay, that's great. That's great for the consumer. But for me, you spent at 343 is going to make Halo, and I want Halo. I'm buying the next Halo.
That's why it's first party studios. Like they benefit. They're going to benefit the most from the subscription because that's all going to one pool. Like,
yeah, I'm just scared that a guy like me who buys the game day one and day out, I get there and let's just say the fan base is in there because of Game Pass. I like.
It doesn't matter if you buy the game. It's not like you're playing separate games from the people that's playing on Game Pass and the people.
I don't think you see what I'm saying.
If nobody's playing
where it can hurt the game franchises.
If nobody's playing the game on Game Pass, doesn't mean there's a lot more people playing the game. If it flops, it's going to flop regardless. It doesn't matter if Game Pass has anything to do with who's playing or not. Like, that's crazy.
So if that's the case, what you're essentially saying, because it's a play anywhere also thing, right? On PC, Game Pass, because Phil Spencer was asked that question. Well, if you have Game Pass,
off that subject.
No. This is a valid question. The question was asked if you're on Xbox, on your computer and it's a play anywhere game, and it's on Game Pass. Will I be able to play that game? And he said yes.
Yeah.
So there again, is it a value to PC players even better because you're not paying for Xbox Live and then you're only paying for Game Pass? So it's just like,
what the hell does that have to do with anything?
What I'm asking is, isn't it a better value just to play on the PC? What's the purpose of having the console?
Oh my! That's a whole new freaking argument that's a
whole new thing. That's a whole.
I'm just asking the question.
I don't know who to answer that question for. It's like, why me?
Because you're the Xbox. You're the best.
Yeah, but you're asking me about PC gamers. You're sitting there. First, you were just speaking on just a global standard how everybody's going to react to Game Pass. Now you want to talk about people who might have a PC that may do Xbox Game Pass. It has nothing to do what we were discussing or how it impacts the livelihood of the game of it just makes no sense. So
it's Game Pass. It's play anywhere. If it's a play anywhere game and it's on Game Pass, don't you think it's more value just to buy a PC and just to play your games on it?
No, I'm not building a $1,700 PC just to play a game for $10 a month. No.
$1,700. Whoa.
No, I was exaggerating, but I'm not building the PC for $600, $500, $700. I'm not doing it just to pay $10 a month.
That may be reality with
Bitcoin. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I'm trying to just see that the variables here make sense. Like, because once again, you have a box that now you spent $500. You can probably build a PC for probably close to what the Xbox One X is on, close to $500-$600.
No, you can't.
Not right now.
Until they fix those GPU prices, you can't.
Yeah, you can.
In a couple months when GPU prices come down, you probably can. But right now, this second, just to give you an idea.
Oh, not right now, this second. No.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying overall,
but about time you can, the Xbox One X will be cheaper. Nice. Yeah. Okay. Well, on to the fucking next subject, because I'm like, that subject is like driving me nuts. All right, so you guys want to take there's actually more than there's actually Xbox is actually getting a lot of console exclusives like this year, and we're gonna go through them by name and see if you heard of it or not. So I'm gonna say the name. You say whatever you know about it, where you remember seeing it, and what you expect, and if you think it's gonna come this year. But I'm gonna list games that are confirmed pretty much for this year, according to like E3 of last year and certain announcements. So, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yep.
Sea of Thieves. We all
not a day one. Not a day one,
but we know we all in agreement that it's coming out obviously this year.
Yeah.
All right. Ashen.
That's the indie game, right?
Yeah, it's an RPG. Yeah, it's a Dark Souls indie. It's like,
I'm very interested in it. Yes.
You think it's coming out?
I think it's coming out this year.
Yeah,
I hope so because I saw a little bit at E3 last year. So
yeah,
played it. I don't think I would actually. This is something I would definitely try on Game Pass. I would not. I don't think I would buy it only because it's like Dark Souls.
Yeah, you had me at Souls. When you said Souls,
have a demo at E3.
Yeah, I played demo.
You had me at Souls.
Yeah.
I heard a lot of good things about people that played the demo. I myself did not. I didn't go to E3, but for the people that did, they had a lot of positive things to say about Ashen.
Yeah, I've heard.
That's the Dark Souls one, right? That it's kind of like Dark Souls.
Mm-hmm.
All right,
All right. Black Desert Online, console exclusive. We already know it's available on PC.
Yeah. So. On PC, it's lit.
Online.
Mm-hmm. It's a MMORPG.
Yeah.
It looked like during that trailer when they showed it at E3, but it's supposed to be coming within the first 3 months of the year.
Let me tell you, on
Xbox Game Pass.
on PC, that game had a lot of hype at one point. I don't know about right now. I'd have to look at the community hub on Steam right now. But at one point, that game was lit. If anybody's got Steam open, I'm on my laptop. If not, I will pull it up.
I might download it. I have.
I'm gonna have to check that. What is that? You said MMO, Black Desert Online.
Black Desert.
Yep. Crackdown 3.
Yeah, that's coming out this year.
Yeah, that's coming out this year.
In the fall, I believe. It's got to be in the fall. I mean, we agree that's the biggest game they're dropping this year, right? That we know.
Yeah, I would say probably one of them.
It's got to be the fall.
I give Horizon a leg up on that one, but
I'll actually go on a limb here, and I'll actually predict September
for Crackdown.
Hey, you sound like me.
Yeah,
you sound like me.
If you sound like Frog, that means according to you, that means freaking State of Decay 2 is coming out in like June or May.
I think State of Decay is coming out before Crackdown.
Hey, we were saying
I'm gonna win that $60 clean, bro.
Hey, we'll see.
Hey, like we were saying yesterday in the party check, is rumor Red Dead's coming out in the summer. That's the rumor.
I think the way that games are released now, they can come out anytime, but I definitely think State of Decay is coming out before Crackdown.
Oh, that's a day one. That's day one for me.
Here's another Xbox console exclusive that's expected to come 2018, and that's Deep Rock Galactic.
Never.
I don't know much about that one.
I haven't, and that's not even my review. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Never heard of it.
It was one of the games shown. It was shown during that 40 game montage that Xbox had of all the 40 plus games.
I mean, I couldn't. Yeah, I seen the 40 game montage. I couldn't. That was one of them. Oh wow.
Yep. All right, but it's a first person co-op sci-fi shooter.
And what's it called again? Wait, what's it called?
It's Deep Rock Galactic.
I've never heard of it.
4-player co-op.
That one I do not know.
All right. Well, look at the trailer. You'll find it.
I'm sure I saw it. It's just what I should say. It's not popping in my mind right now.
The Darwin Project. Anybody remember this?
No.
No.
Mike, the Darwin Project. All right. So it's a third person like combat like battle royale game. It's like a I don't want to call it PUBG because it's not like
looks more like Fortnite though.
It looks more like Fortnite, but what you do in this game is you really have to take advantage of survival instincts, follow footprints of like the other live player. You got to hunt another live player down and hopefully you win. Get whatever weapon you can. You can track them down by finding their footprints, tracking down where they went, controlling your breathing and whatnot. And it happens in extreme weather conditions. So you got to do it in a certain amount of time.
They had a demo on stage of that.
Yes, I played it at E3.
Like 100 games. That's what it sounds like.
I played it at E3. They have a beta. Good. They have a beta right now on PC on Steam, by the way. I got this coming out summer 2018, June. All
right, I can see that. I totally can see that.
I don't know.
That's supposedly the drought time, right? In gaming. So it's very possible.
You did say it's coming on Steam, right?
The beta's on Steam right now. Yeah.
Then maybe.
I'll download it after the show.
I don't know anything about it though.
The Darwin Project. Look it up. Look at the gameplay trailer. You're gonna be impressed.
When you see it, you'll remember it being on stage for sure.
Yeah, because they had the annoying commentary for it when they were doing the
YouTuber, right? That YouTuber that was on there.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
Everybody remembers that instead of the game.
Yeah.
Another one, The Last Night.
I might be. I might be interested in that.
Think it's coming out this year though?
I think it'll come out before E3. It has to.
Last night, I even though I don't think this is a 2018 title, but it's listed here, and Forza Horizon 4.
Oh yeah, we know that's coming out.
That's coming.
That's a Call of Duty every year kind of game. It's coming.
Forza Horizon GOAT.
What about Ori and the Will-O-Wisp?
Yeah, I would say that's coming out. Yeah,
I don't think that's coming out 2018. No, I say 2019. Wow. Yeah. Okay. Because when that game was announced, supposedly it wasn't even like in complete full production art.
It looks good.
It does look good. I don't think it's coming out this year though.
Ooh.
Because they want that game to be crispy clean
And for it to live up to the first one, man, they got to bring it because the first one was awesome.
They're not gonna rush
They
that.
ain't gonna rush that.
Yeah, Moon Studios, go ahead and take your time. State of Decay 2.
That's coming out this year.
Definitely.
It is.
That's coming out earlier than we think it is.
Yeah, that was delayed, right? They delayed that last year.
Yeah, it was supposed to come out. It was supposed to come out in 2016, and then they at E3 announced early 2017. It's not coming early 2017. So I State of Decay 2. It may come out this year, but I'm not buying it. I think it's going to be like an early 2019 game.
Yeah.
Second quarter
2019. I guarantee it.
No, second quarter this year. I think it's coming out.
It may. We'll see. I just don't want to see that game at E3. I do not want to see that game at E3.
Do you think we'll see Crackdown?
I think we'll see Crackdown at E3. I don't want to.
Ooh,
but
Almighty Spartan got in the chat. What about Perfect Dark?
Perfect Dark this year? No.
No. Hell no.
No. This year.
Hell no.
I read that in the chat though, because I was told.
Yeah, I saw that too. No way.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And last year was the first year since the launch of the Xbox One where there wasn't a Halo or a Gears. Does that happen again this year? Like, does
Yes.
There
will be no Halo, no Gears this year.
No, but they'll tease it though. They'll tease the shit out those two games.
Yeah, for sure.
If we did get one this year, I think it would be Halo.
Yeah, well,
I would say we would get it.
I would say Gears if one's come out. Yep. That's my that's my opinion. I just think with the story mode with Halo 5, it was subpar. Yeah. So they really gotta get that story mode script on point, because I'm not really worried about multiplayer. I think it would be Gears.
I'll tell you why I don't think it's this year. If you remember during E3, they asked the guys at 343 about Halo 6, will we be seeing it? And they specifically said something to the effect of, you would not be seeing like Halo 6 like for a long time or for an extended period, something like that. It was something to that led me to believe that it was going to be a while before we saw the next Halo.
I think I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen with Halo, the next Halo game. I'm gonna go out and say Halo. We'll see. They're gonna pull up what Bethesda does. Halo. We're gonna see Halo, and we're gonna play this shortly after we see it. We're gonna see it at E3, and we're gonna play that later that year.
They're gonna do Fallout 4.
Yeah, it's gonna be on sale right now.
Nah.
And they're gonna be not like that.
You can't do that with Halo. You gotta build that anticipation. So
right.
But I'm gonna tell you some predictions for Halo 6. This is a little bonus. Locke is coming back. He'll be there.
I wouldn't mind.
They're not gonna.
That's a confirmation on that.
He's coming back. You can't just. He's coming back. Him is going to be Locke. Is going to be in the game. Master Chief is still going to be will be the centerpiece.
You gotta be.
Atriox,
of course,
will be in the game. He's going to be a bitch. So Atriox is going to be in the game, and trying to see what else is there. That's all I got for Halo 6. I got a Crackdown 3 thing that I think happened. I tweeted about it, but I think it's real. I think Crackdown will have a PUBG like mode with its destruction mode.
Ooh.
I mean, that'll be very interesting.
That'd be very interesting. Very.
Sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. Why not?
What? I actually retweeted that. I actually had to retweet.
Yeah. I think that I thought you got to think somebody's going to capitalize off that. Freaking Fortnite did it. Is bid it. Paladins, I think, got their mode. Crackdown is in a position. It's not out yet, right? They got a foundation for it. Maybe they have this destruction mode and did not know how to use it. What mode? What we're gonna do? Is this gonna be a sandbox shoot 'em up? Why not a battle royale?
Right now, battle royale's got the hype. I just think that the hype for that genre may die down slightly the minute super mainstream games like Call of Duty do it or Battlefield. I can totally see like Battlefield doing that.
Yeah, I can see Battlefield doing that quick.
Definitely. I think they're actually probably in the best position to do that, to be honest with you, of the popular first-person shooters out right now.
Yeah.
All right, so I want to give some attention to the chat for just a moment. So shout out for like the 115 to 120 of you who've
hit the like button,
watched. Hit the like button. Please feel free to ask your questions in here. Probably gonna have to ask your questions here because I can't answer them on Twitter. Anything you got to say? Anything you wanted us to cover? Because I don't want to keep everybody here too late. I know we all probably on different time zones. People got different.
Well, I do got a question though. But anybody hyped about that God of War trailer that came out the other day? Now let me tell you something.
Man.
I'm a recent PlayStation owner, so I didn't play the earlier titles. What I might do is purchase the earlier titles, check them out, and then play the new one. Out 420.
Oh my god!
Which was interesting.
Lit.
It's gonna be lit.
Yeah.
Now,
literally,
it looks good. Like the trailer looks good, and the story. I was intrigued by the story. What turned me off a little bit. It looked like he's gonna be babysitting that little kid for a while, like The Last of Us. Right. So I don't want it to be fully. I hope it ain't a babysitting simulator because I'm gonna be mad. But that story and that trailer.
I mean, it looks like a beautiful game. I know the chat will probably go crazy when I say this, but I'm not a huge God of War fan, but I'll be copping it day one for sure.
Yeah, gorgeous. Hey, Smooth.
Hold on. Go ahead.
I was wondering because you said the link is dead. That link he was talking about was he said Anthem, talking about Anthem. Because he said it was the rumor was it was going to be pushed back to next year, and the rumor was if this game didn't come out successful, it can make or break BioWare, and he wanted to ask you your thoughts on that.
Okay. So it's not confirmed as delayed, but that's
right. That's the rumor.
Right, hold on, let me close my door right quick. Hold on.
Yeah, God of War. Whew.
I mean, the game looks beautiful, man.
If Anthem gets delayed, I guess I wouldn't mind because I still think Red Dead is coming out in the fall, even though the rumor says the summer. I think they're gonna own the fall. You're gonna have Red Dead. You're gonna have Treyarch's next Call of Duty.
I can kind of agree with that.
Which I think is gonna be World at War 2. Not World War 2, but World at War 2. I think they're gonna make a sequel to that.
I can agree to that. Yeah,
I agree with that.
I think and then you got what, Battlefield, the next Battlefield game. So it's
we don't know
okay.
what it's
so
gonna
EA has another thing they can launch out, and then they can properly launch Anthem. You know what I mean? Because we haven't seen Anthem since that E3 trailer. I didn't
see it either.
So it's and BioWare, like I said, they had their last release was the Andromeda, which they just completely abandoned.
But remember, that was their B studio, the real BioWare.
The real BioWare is doing. Yeah, but when you say it still had the name on it, you know, it still had BioWare, you know, on it, and so that
just because it's BioWare.
Yeah, you know, so that's it. So I guess I have nothing. I can see if we've been continuously seeing Anthem and had time to amp it, but we haven't seen enough really to be super hyped. There's nothing to learn about the game yet, you know. So hey, do what they got to do what they got to do. Somebody Grand Gross said if you only pick one to play, I'm assuming GOW is God of War, or Sea of Thieves. I'm gonna play. Okay, I'll answer the question. I'll answer the fucking question. I'll answer.
That's a pretty tilted question, though.
It is a tilted question.
Because that's not really in the same genre.
Because you're talking about an established franchise,
right?
An established franchise versus a new one where we required that. At least I would rather play with friends rather than play alone. You know. Right. So I'm going to say God of War. Good thing they come a month apart because I got a whole month to enjoy Sea of Thieves. Now I have this a little bit amount of hype for God of War. Now I'm gonna say this. I've never been a super fan of the God of War games. I've played maybe God of War, I think 1 or 2, whichever one that was on a PS2. I played Ascension on PlayStation Now. I have God of War 3, but I had no interest in finishing it. So why is there hype for God of War? This God of War for me is because I like that they changed it. It seems more interesting to me. I feel like it's slowed down. I feel like the camera is not going to be moving all over the place. I like the over the shoulder look. Look like it's going to be very cinematic, slowed down, and it's going to be. I feel like I'm gonna be able to play it and get into it much easier. So just in case anybody be like, you're not even a God of War fan, why are you anticipating the games? And they asked me about Horizon, they asked me about Assassin's Creed when I was typing those games, even though I wasn't really big fans of certain genres or something like that. I was like, I'll see something in the game that stick with me, and I'll keep wanting more. And then when I finally get it, I'm like, yep, this is exactly what I was looking for. So that's what happened with. Go ahead.
So let me ask you this question. So you like more of the, because I think what you're saying is, and I'm taking it, is you like more of that closer third person kind of shoulder camera view, over the cover shoulder kind of camera view gameplay versus like that more like isometric. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, man. I can just suggest this to you, man. Go get you a PS3. It's really dirt cheap and play all of them because the story in God of War is why you play it.
Remember, I played God of War 1. I have God of War 3. And I played Ascension on PlayStation Now, like the PS Now when I had
so much of the story.
I honestly don't think God of War 4 will have anything to do with anything.
No, I think this next one is not going to be.
So that's why I don't feel the need to play to really play them.
So it will be good for a newbie like me to just.
Yeah, I don't think you need to play any of the God of. I don't think you need to play any of the God of Wars to jump into God of War 4. You know
I mean, theoretically, it's kind of I guess I shouldn't say reboot because I mean they didn't call the game God of War 4.
Yeah.
You said God of War. Yeah.
So it may be a slight like change of direction / reboot in some capacity.
I think it is. I think it is. But like those I think a lot of people. The reason I played God of War is the story really pulled me in. I played all of the remasters on PS3, Ghost of Sparta, and like from all of them. And they were just like, that story just pulled me in and what was going on in Kratos' life. And I was like, this is deep. Like, it was a really deep story. But it is a hard game. Depending on what difficulty you played, I played it on the harder difficulty, but the game is really the story is solid. And like, I guess that continuous action kept me going to get to that next, like, what's really going on with this man? And why does he have all these problems? But the story is really good. Shoot, look, it looks smooth. Even if you don't play it, just go on YouTube and just watch all the cinematics and get the story. You'll be like, wow, this was a deep story. It's pretty deep.
Yeah,
it's pretty deep.
Maybe. So, like I said, some stories get me some games I just either want to shoot them up or slice them up. So, like that's how I get through some of them. Like, but let me say, any other questions in the chat?
Any question at all?
Any question? Jay Got said story. What story? It's all about combat.
I don't know. Like
maybe reboot it.
Your God of War comments.
Oh, I see. I guess God of War or God of War 4, what we're calling it, is that they're trying to reboot it because I guess they're going to hand over the torch to the son, right?
Yeah,
I guess
that's what people are looking at and saying, yeah, because it's going.
So it's like a prequel to the reboot.
Right. I mean, I'm about to spoil it, right? I predict Kratos will die.
Oh, it's very possible.
Well, shoot.
Understandable if they want to push it to the little kid.
Well, look, if you're saying that, I predict that Joel's going to die in the last of us too.
People
that's understandable. Look,
I'm going to go one step further. I'm going to predict that trailer we saw when Ellie was sitting there and Joel, she was that was in her mind. I believe Joel's dead.
I think that girl.
They want to give me Grand Gross has Metacritic predictions for Sea of Thieves and God of War. My prediction is Sea of Thieves will be around an 84. God of War will be a 91.
I could go with that.
I can do that. I can do that.
Yeah. I totally see it around that range, to be honest with you. I really do.
Yeah.
God of War.
Not to say Sea of Thieves is bad. It's just I've already I can see how how Sea of Thieves would be reviewed by some developers. Like there's going to be some journalists who love it and give it like high markings, but there's going to be a lot of medium average like scores that would have its average sitting around like an 84, 85, I believe.
Ooh.
All right, Damian D, Kid Smooth. Do you think you're gonna beat BGST and Gears 4 Friday? Oh, speaking of this, I almost forgot. Planet Xbox versus I think is I don't know. I think is
Broadband Bullies.
Broadband Bullies. Now, I'm hoping to have my internet because I'm getting like nice internet upgrade with this transfer that I'm doing. But 8:30 p.m. Planet Xbox, that would be me, Merc, Frog, Attic, and Jazz 77 versus 5 members of Broadband Bullies. Now I'm going to lay this out, and whoever, if you guys are cool with Zaire or if you got a way of reaching him, we play by these rules or we're not playing at all. No spectators other than the people that's watching on YouTube and Twitter or Twitch and whatnot. And no substitution. We will not be subbing in and out players. I will not deal with that. You either pick your 5, you stick with them. There ain't gonna be no subbing in, no subbing out. If you can't abide by that, we will not play. All right. So I'm just making that clear. I got my 5. You got to pick your 5 and keep them. We're not doing the spectating thing. We're not doing the subbing in and out. That's for the birds. All right.
Agree.
Okay.
Totally agree.
Friday, 8:30, right?
Friday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern.
All right.
The Finest asks, do you see Game Pass on Chromecast, Fire Stick, Roku, and TV? Me personally, no, but I know Frog does.
Yeah, I do. I definitely do. I think it's good. I think it's good as a whole for that brand.
The game's just gonna connect to the controller is just gonna connect to the TV somehow, huh?
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. I think that's where gaming is headed, not next generation or the generation after that. Yeah, exactly. I mean, look, there's a reason why Sony bought Gaikai, right?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, this is an anticipation to where I think the industry is headed. Do we really think, let's say 2 or 3 generations from now, that we're buying consoles? Because we're going to be the old guys still talking about consoles at that time.
Yeah. I probably won't be gaming anymore at that point, though. So that's
will.
I don't. I don't. You know, I don't think I see myself because like once the console goes away, I think I look for another hobby to do. Like I like the idea of a consoles. Like even though I got VR, I play it, but I can't play it as much as I would do consoles. It's you know what I mean. I like to have it, but I can't game. I can't do it the way I do it with consoles. I can't do it.
I mean, I'm not saying that there won't be a requirement to buy some kind of hardware, but I do think that gaming is going streaming. That I do.
Yeah, I'm not, and that's the thing. I don't know if I really with that. And I was like, and we'll see. We'll see if I age with it. If I age properly with it, then I may. But I don't think I will not. I don't think I will.
I'll even give you this one too. Like for example, a lot of people argue with me. Oh, you know, how's that possible? You know, like what are PC gamers gonna do, right?
Yeah.
You know, with Steam, all their digital games, Steam is gonna do a streaming service. I'm like, well, if you look at NVIDIA already set up the GeForce Now streaming situation that, man, you got to pay an obnoxious amount of money to rent an online 1080 and stream your games at 1440, 60 frames per second. You know, the whole thing.
That's crazy.
I mean, right now, even NVIDIA has positioned themselves in the market in that capacity. So as infrastructure, network infrastructure improves over time, now, let's say over the next 10 to 15 years, for sure, I believe gaming is going to be a service in its entirety from every platform, Sony, Microsoft, everybody.
I agree. Somebody in the chat said, according to Frog, we're going to be having Game Pass on our Android and Apple devices. Yeah, I think that's coming. It's not right now, but I think that's the future. And it may not be a digitally game you download. It may be a streaming service. We're on our cell phones more than anything in the world. So I definitely could see that being a big thing that they look at. These companies aren't stupid. These companies, Microsoft is $1 trillion company. By no means are they stupid. They may make bad decisions, but they're the first $1 trillion company in America to really do it the way they've done it. And, you know, and so it's going to be a future. It just may not be right now, but it will be a future.
And you know what, Frog? Exactly like what you said. I mean, if that's going to be the future, I mean, Microsoft is already positioning themselves with placing a service in place like Game Pass, right? So like, are how many consoles I sold or boxes I sold going to matter? Like, I mean, we're not even going to be talking about consoles. Like, it's not going to be about sales. It's going to be about subscriptions.
Yeah.
Right.
Grant Ross asks,
working towards that.
Grant Gross asked, do you think, oh no, I want to ask this first question before. No, this question was, damn, what the hell did I lose this question? He asked me to predict. Was it Grand Cross? No, somebody asked me to predict the sales of Sea of Thieves. I will not be predicting the sales. I'll tell you how many users they'll have after for the first month. I think there will be 1.5 million users the first month of release of Sea of Thieves.
What was it again? I'm sorry.
1.5 million users.
It's possible.
I can see that. I can see that.
Especially if people leverage their 14-day free Game Pass for sure.
Well, right now, Sea of Thieves, the beta is in the top 5 of most viewed streams for concurrent.
On Mixer, it was number 1.
In Mixer, and that's Microsoft platforms. That's why I had to use Twitch, because you know what I mean. So it's like Mixer number 1, and then top 5 and on Twitch. That's saying something. That's going to help. That's definitely going to help.
Where is DayZ for Xbox?
DayZ, I don't know. Where is
DayZ? DayZ's on PC.
I said, let me check my pockets, because I know it ain't on Xbox.
Kiss Smooth, what game studios do you think Microsoft Studios should have bought when they had the chance? I'm gonna go out and say BioWare.
Oof, man. If we're talking about BioWare, the entire studio, including that A-team, oof. And Microsoft had a chance to buy them too.
Yeah.
Way back.
Yeah,
and I bet you they regret that one.
I would have gotten Respawn as well.
Yeah, but remember they signed the
the first right of refusal. Yeah,
exactly. It would have cost Microsoft twice their worth to buy them.
Really, for BioWare? You know what? I'm just surprised you said that, because with that game that came out last year, Andromeda.
Yeah. I mean, but it's like I always say, remember that was their B team. The real BioWare, the BioWare has been working on Anthem.
Yeah, but you gotta look at the games that were made by BioWare. You had Knights of the Old Republic, Jade Empire, Mass Effect, like the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Didn't BioWare make Dragon Age?
Yes, they did.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yes, they did.
Damn, man.
And that game's getting remastered, by the way, on PC.
A lot of people say Xbox should have kept Microsoft should have kept Bungie because Destiny would have been exclusive. But I'm like, okay, I get it, but Destiny, how far is Destiny removed from Halo?
Not that far.
It's pretty much Halo with a different name, but I think it would have been good.
It really is.
Halo with lack of a story.
Yeah. Even though, and we were saying this in the party chat last night. I mean, they're a skeleton of their former self. Bungie.
Oh yeah,
a skeleton. I guarantee you, the original people at Bungie are looking at Bungie now and saying, "What a fall from grace!" That for sure is being said.
Or they dodged the bullet.
Yep.
Hey, let me clear up something I said, because I see it in the chat when I said $1 trillion company. I'm talking about Microsoft hit a major milestone. They hit $1 trillion in all time in cumulative revenue. So that means that they're the first company to do that, other than Apple. They're the first company to do that. So when I said $1 trillion, let me mistake that. They're not. I shouldn't say. Maybe I mistake that. They're not worth $1 trillion. What I'm saying is in revenue, they're $1 trillion company in that aspect of, like, they know what they're doing. They know how to make big money. That's what I should say. So I'm sorry if you took it. I may have misspoken the wrong way. I just want to make sure I clear that up.
Okay. Good thing for you. Yeah. All right, I got one last prediction before we go. All right.
Okay.
Questions. All right. Somebody said Destiny sells more. It sells more than what?
Than what?
Yeah, I don't know.
It sells more than what?
Can't say that about Destiny 2.
Destiny 2 ass,
overall. Destiny.
Oh my gosh.
Let's actually do this. Destiny's the first 2 Destiny games versus Halo 1 and 2, or even Halo 2 and 3. I still say I think Destiny still loses.
And as far as like overall sales.
Yeah.
I could look it up. I don't know.
Yeah, please. Somebody, matter of fact, Frog, look that up. Add up overall sales of Halo 1 and 2, and then overall sales of Destiny 1 and 2.
I got you.
Do that, and let's see. And before we'll close out on your answer. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll take that. But let's talk about. I got PUBG 1.0, right? That's once PUBG hits 1.0, that's the final game. It's like it's out of preview. launches in Game Pass as well once it go live as a final game.
No. I hope not.
Oh,
But it might. I hope not.
that'll be a huge splash, though.
It'll be a splash. Yep.
It'll be a mega splash they announced that at E3.
Yeah, Halo 3.
Which, hey, I mean, they said that the Xbox is was 6 months behind the development cycle on PC. So I mean, it kind of sort of matches up with E3 time.
Yeah,
E3. Yeah.
Yeah, because E3 is in June, July, right?
June 12th.
Yeah.
This year.
So that's about 6 months. Yeah, 7 months since from
anybody
when,
gonna try to go to
PUBG
E3 this year?
I'm thinking about it, but I'm not sure if I'm gonna go. I might be going to Dominican Republic. I might be going to Florida. I'm going to PAX East, so I may or may not. I'm not sure if I'm gonna do that.
If I try to get into FanFest, I may go because I want to go to FanFest. I'm trying to get there, but if not, I'll just have to pony up the cash to pay for the ticket to go to E3. I really don't want to, but yeah, I mean, it was a good experience, and personally, with me, as a content creator, I love to go to events and conventions as much as I possibly can. Okay, it says Halo 1 and 2 sold 13.5. Together.
And then Destiny and 1 and 2 sold more than that combined. But you got to see Destiny was on multi-platforms. So, and it's right. If you look at just Halo 1, Destiny sold better than Halo 1 and sold better than Halo 2. But I think it was a console exclusive. It would have probably tapped out and been right at that Halo marker. Because I think, I'm looking at all the Halos, and even Halo 5, like Halo 5 sold 5 million, a little bit over 5 million.
Halo 5 would be the least. Halo 3, I think, sold the most. So
yeah,
Halo 3 Halo 4.
Yeah, Halo 3 is the best selling one. Yeah. But they're selling like close to each other. Like, if you're just talking about I didn't go with PS4 and 360. I just went with just the sales of just the Xbox. And so it outsold it 1 for 1. Basically, probably a couple million more. But I think that would have been a good franchise to have. I really do.
As an Xbox exclusive, it wouldn't have outsold Halo. I'm just saying that right now.
I don't know,
because it didn't outsell Halo on the Xbox itself.
Oh no.
So that's why
I think it would have been big as an exclusive. I think that would have been a system seller.
Halo 3 sold 14.5 million.
Halo 3 was huge. That game was huge. That game.
Halo 4 at 9.5 million, and then
it seemed like the more they make them, the less they sell. I don't know. That's just kind of what I'm seeing. Like they had an upsurge at 2, and then they got the 3 and it peaked, and then it went down. They started going back down.
All right, but let's get out of here. Hit that like button, that subscribe button, and we'll see you guys next week. And I guess we'll see you guys on Friday with the broadband bully stream. So let's call it a night. I want to say thank you to Lady Infamous for joining us tonight. Your presence was truly appreciated. Thanks for coming by and blessing this podcast today.
Oh no, thank you for inviting me, and I get to meet awesome new people, and we can discuss intellectual conversations about gaming. Hit me up, all things Lady Infamous. Hit me up on Twitter, Lady_Infamous30. I might stream today, I might stream tomorrow. It depends. I'll put like my info on the chat right now so you guys can hit me up and stuff.
Yeah. Gringo said I didn't answer the question. What question did I didn't answer? I'll make that the last question I answered so I can get
who said something?
Right. He says I didn't answer a question. I want to know what question I didn't answer of his. Trying to scroll up to see if there was anything I missed. Didn't answer the question. New games coming on Game Pass day 1, part of the Mike Booty era. No, that's not part of the Mike Booty era. That's still part of the original Phil Spencer plan. It's just the timing of everything.
I think people just like saying that man's name.
Yeah, no, it's not part of the Booty era. It comes into effect during his era, but that's still all Phil's plan. And the Booty era is still the Phil Spencer era. It's just that Phil Spencer is moving the strings, and Mike Booty's going to be the face. But Merc, please let them know.
Merc305 on Xbox, on YouTube, Twitter. Hit me up. Another great episode. I enjoyed it.
All right. And Frog.
So Frog and Xbox, I'm Frog's Dream. On PlayStation, I'm Frog and Pepper. Go ahead, hit me up. I play on multiple consoles. I try to play everything evenly. I do buy all my first parties. So if you got a first party game you play on either system, I'm down to play it. Doesn't matter if it's Halo, Gears, Forza. I had to put that in there, or if it's Bloodborne, Uncharted, or anything else you want to play. But yeah, definitely hit me up.
All right, and are we getting on Gears for practice or no?
We can practice some Gears, or we can rock some Sea of Thieves.
I want to try to Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, we can rock some Sea of Thieves.
All right, I'll be in a party chat if you guys want to. My party's open, but
definitely.
You guys have a wonderful night. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, Xbox is the best box, and I am the best bot. Good night or good morning if you're on the other side of the globe. We out of here. Peace.
Have a good night, guys.
Good night. Good night.
Night.